Hello and welcome back to the Beyond the Arc podcast. Dallas, as always, joined by Levi. Levi, how's it going, man?
Scott off work, doing well. How you doing, man?
Doing pretty well. Doing pretty well. I guess let's go ahead and jump into everything here. I mean, Tennessee, LSU. We won't really discuss the other game. I'm not gonna lie, it's skipping my mind who we played, but it's been
Mississippi State.
Mississippi State. Yeah, that's correct. It's been a while, so we'll just go ahead and skip over that. Was the LSU game pretty? No. But you got a team that was wounded. They was coming off of getting embarrassed at home against Arkansas. I thought LSU responded and played well. They said they wanted to keep it in the high 60s, the mid 70s. They was able to do that. Credit to LSU. Like I said, I mean, death, taxes, and bad shooting teams catching fire against Tennessee. That's about what it came down to for me, which on that same note, the offense, I've been wanting to get this off my chest for a while. The offense isn't the problem with this Tennessee team. I think you go even going back to the Kentucky game at Rupp, was the offense great in that second half? No, it was not great at all. Actually, it was horrible. But if you get a defensive performance like we're used to with Tennessee and Rick Barnes, you win that game still by 3, 5 points. I'm sure Rick Barnes would agree the defense just hasn't been at the level it needs to be. And then you look at Ethan Berg against the LSU game out of nowhere. I mean, his shot looked okay before, but in my opinion, it seems much revamped. It seems like it's a lot quicker of a release. If you may disagree, but it looked like it was a lot quicker coming
That
off his
thing's
hand.
ugly, brother. That thing is ugly. That shot is
It it's
horrid to
not
watch. It's
it's
pitiful. He's a thumb shooter like I
it's
was, though. He
yeah,
comes up and then his left hand pushes. It's like a thumb motion like this, which
it's not pretty.
I was a thumb shooter too. So what was that one? Oh, hand up. Whoa! How did we? Uh-oh.
It'd be good. What are you gonna do? But
It's asking you to give me a high five, dude. Lower
uh,
hand high five.
I
I don't
have
know.
no.
Sorry.
Okay,
This
it
is what I do to the podcast. I don't know why I'm like this. I'm sorry. ADHD, man.
but I mean anyway, it is. It's ugly, but it looks like it's a little bit quicker coming off its hand.
I do agree with you. Yes.
It's not as quicksand. And if you can get 8 points a night out of Ethan Berg, that's all you can ask.
All I gotta do is
And
raise my hand and I get to be the top. If I raise my hand, it lets me go back to the top. Look, boom. All right, now it's my speaking time. Just kidding. All right.
but I
I
mean
can't help it. I can't help it.
JP Estrella played a really good game, 16 points, 9 rebounds. I still feel like he needs to be a little better defensively. Rick Barnes said the exact same thing post game. But other than that, I have really nothing else to add. Levi, you got anything to add about LSU?
I texted you and said we were soft only because I saw one thing transpire on the bench, and I'm not going to mention any names, but when Rick Barnes is trying to talk to you, you better talk or you're going to sit for, or you better not talk back, I should say. And you
I
better
think I know.
keep your head held high and just, yes, sir, and move on because, man, at times, at the games, sometimes I don't, I find myself not even watching the game. I find myself watching like mannerisms on the bench, who's involved, who's not. And two or three times I saw some of our assistants have to get up and walk down the bench, be like, "Hey, come on, guys! Like, we got to be involved in this game. Look at LSU. LSU's team was all standing up, defense, clapping. They were into the game. That, and, they have nothing to lose."
Yeah.
Listen to Steve Hamer talk about the game, and Steve Hamer said the same thing. It's a team that they need this win. Like, if they get this win and they end up winning out, next thing you know, they're bubble talk. So, would LSU ever win out? No, but the whole point was is that our bench just did not feel as involved this game. And to me, that means you got some guys' minds not in the exactly right place, which it's a, Saturday game against the worst team in the SEC. You just played another one of the worst teams. It's real easy to lull yourself. And, I was irritated at the fact that it felt like it was a game that we could really get to work on some stuff. And I think we did. Getting Ethan Berg minutes, that's huge. And he said that he felt that some of the losses were his fault because Gillespie had to play too many minutes. I was supposed to be the backup point guard this year. That's what they brought me in for, and I'm going to do my best to take over that role. And I'm 100% there. I mean, if we can get 8 points out of Ethan Berg and he goes out and shoots the ball like he did Saturday, then I'm 100% fine with him getting minutes. He looked normal again, and Barnes said he switched him to the scout team this past week and was like, "I'm going to give you a chance. Like, stop thinking, just go play." So your scout team this week, and sometimes that's the type of thing you need as a player. And in a way, I guess if I was in his shoes and the coach had come to me and said, "Hey, you're going to be scout team this week, but I'm giving you this opportunity to show me that you can go out and just play." So I think it worked out fine for us, but I would have preferred to have blown that team out the water. But you can give their head coach, I can't remember his name for the life of me. Heck of a
McMahon, I,
coach. Yes, McMahon. Um, they had played 8 total minutes of zone all year long, and they came out and ran, I think, 26 against us. So anytime that my cat's about to eat a penny, anytime that you have a team that just doesn't do things and they come out and they're trying to do it to you, then you know that it's going to be a fight. And it was a fight, and we won the fight at the end of the day.
yeah, I mean, it's like I said earlier. It was a team that was wounded. Their back was against the wall. No one believed in them. I mean, they was missing their leading scorer and two other players. It's
Reese is a
kind
heck
of
of a player.
Yeah, yeah, he is. It kind of gave me vibes of, and not completely the same, but the Kansas game against Tennessee when Tennessee had all those players missing
Yeah.
and Kansas came in the TBA. Not the same vibe, but kind of there is that the team that really had no business being in that game, and Tennessee ultimately won that game as LSU fell short. But I guess that's it for LSU, unless you have anything else you want to add.
No, I got to go get this penny from a cat.
All right, I'll
Stop.
continue talking and you can hear me. All right, moving on to Oklahoma this week, not this weekend, but Wednesday night. They are playing much better lately in their last two. They won on the road at Vandy and beat Georgia at home. A lot of their losses this season have been close. It looked for a while like Porter Moser may be on his last legs at Oklahoma, but it does seem like he may be getting ready to turn this thing around, hopefully for them. I mean, one of my main questions with this is how is Nigel Pack still playing college basketball? I have zero clue. I mean, that's without even looking up his years. I have no idea how that man is still playing college basketball. It seems like it was like 6 years ago he was at Miami. But anyway, other than that, I expect a similar game to LSU. I expect Oklahoma to be the team that kind of, I don't want to say they want it more, but the team that's more energetic and they have more to play for. They try to save their season if it's possible. Like you said, I think they could probably win out and probably still wouldn't make the NCAA tournament unless they won the NCAA tournament. But that's about all I got to say for Oklahoma. Levi, you got anything to add?
Uh, you stated it. It's one of those games just like last Saturday, and it's the thing about this one though, Dallas, is it's a Wednesday game, so it's a little different. Typically, you're a little more juiced up for those midweeks than you are the Saturday games, unless you're playing somebody huge Saturday. Um, but if you're just coming into a lull of a midweek game, people seem to think that that's the type of game that should be the one that be a trap game. But I can promise you, as somebody that played in these types of scenarios, the Saturday lull game is 100 times worse. You get that weekend. Saturday games are normally later, or they're just at the butt crack of dawn. So it's just, or you play at just a strange time. Like it's a time where maybe you're typically in class, you play at 2 or something. So I do expect us to go out and really hammer them down low. Um, I knew you'd smile. Uh, I do think that the post presence of our team will absolutely own this game, and I really liked what I saw from to not to go back to LSU, but I liked the fact that our guys were attacking the rim with some force for once, and it also seems that Nate has figured out the fact that he can actually dunk the basketball recently. So that's been nice to see that he's not just shooting layups anymore. Also, he's crashing the glass. We're no longer on Nate watch, as you can see. We're back to seed
Yeah.
watch. Nate watches. He's arrived. I had a Tennessee fan behind me at the LSU game though say like, "Oh, he'll go 3 for 14 from the field, but he'll have 20 points." I don't care how he gets them.
Yeah.
I turned to him and I said, "I don't care how he gets them. If he goes and shoots 11 or 18 of 20 from free throw line, like I was like, my buddy Dallas, he's a Shea Alexander fan, man. He knows all about the free throws." So I'm a Luca fan. I know all about it. You look up, they're like, "Oh man, they
Absolutely.
had 50. They had 50 last night." And you look, they had four made field goals, but 36 free throws. I don't care how he does it, but he is the reason that teams are having to really figure it out because Nate's putting big men in foul trouble. He's getting to the rim with force now, and it's drawing fouls. There's no other way to guard him, but also it's becoming almost laughable that other teams are allowed to just do what they do to not only Nate, but Jacoby and Bishop as well when they're trying to get through screens. There's got to be something. And I'm hoping that come tournament time, say it's the round of 32, we're playing somebody and they want to be grabbing and pulling on our guys that were in the bonus quick, which I would have never said that 2 weeks ago. But the way this team's shooting free throws recently, I'm perfectly fine with it. There's got and Rick Barnes, poor guy. I mean, he's old. He's working his butt off trying to get foul calls. But if you're at these games, you're watching our guys just even not at it. You can watch it on the TV that nobody defends us. They just grab us the whole game. And I guess, it's a thing of the past, which we've talked about on here, Dallas, where somehow we're still thought of as a football team. So everybody's allowed to play physical with us. We're not allowed to touch people. And there was a point in the LSU game, not to go back to it, but it was 6-2. The foul calls were we had six fouls, they had two on our home court. Like, what are we doing here? We got to figure out a way to get these refs to realize that our guys are. I mean, poor Nate Admit, man, he can barely do anything nowadays. Everybody just shoves him off and sticks him in a corner and basically beats him with a stick. So that's getting really old to watch because your best players should be able to at least get up to the top of the key to get the basketball. So
Yeah, I
uh,
mean, go ahead.
no, you're good. You're good.
I was just going to say, Rick Barnes has talked about this recently. I meant to have the video, but forgot to get it. But he said, we have to call this stuff inside and kind of in the mid post stuff. We have to call it the same way we call 3-point shooters. He said, you barely touch a 3-point shooter and it's an automatic whistle. You
Hmm.
can get down in the paint and the post and just absolutely rough someone up, even if there's a guard and there's really no call. He said, I was on the rules. He was on the rules committee a few years ago when he said, I brought the same thing up that if you're going to call everything out here on the perimeter, be consistent and call it down low as well. And personally, I'm okay with the big men getting away with some stuff against other big men. But when it's big men absolutely hacking your guards, you got to blow the whistle, man. Especially like guys like Nate Amit, who, I mean, let's be honest, he is a superstar and he is getting kind of a superstar whistle, but he's still not at that superstar whistle of a guy like AJ DeBonsa, Darren
Etoga Owe.
Otega Owe, Darren D&P Peterson, uh, and guys like that. I mean, it's laughable, but there's only so much you can do about it. Just hope that the refs finally get tired of hearing you talk about it and call the game the way it should be called. Moving on to this weekend now, we have Vanderbilt. This is at Vanderbilt on Saturday. I'm gonna go ahead and call this right now. This will be known as the Jalen Carey game, kind of similar to how Syracuse he was pretty much the only one out there doing stuff. But I expect Carey to have a good game against Vanderbilt. I'm not going to say a specific number or nothing like that, but I expect him to be very, very efficient. I mean, Vanderbilt, they've kind of came down to earth. You hate to say it though, because I mean, they've still only lost 4 games. Tyler Tanner is an NBA guard if you let him get going, so we'll have to do a good job of shutting him down. And I think a big part of this game is will Duke Miles be back? He's averaging around 17 points per game for Vanderbilt.
We
He's been
we
out.
shut him down last year. He could not
Yeah,
handle the fit, which you have Jamal Ashak, but I'm just
yeah.
saying. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh, you're good. You're good. And I mean, if he's back, it's going to be another guy you have to watch. I think if he's back, he'll probably be back this week. I doubt he'll be back on the weekend. I see them put him back in a midweek game. And then also, this is, I think, the X factor. Tyler Nickel. Can Tennessee guard him? I mean, I'm just thinking of JP Estrella out there trying to guard Tyler Nickel. And God bless JP. He's a tremendous offensive player, but he doesn't have the quickest foot speed. And I'm just having nightmares of Tyler Nickel absolutely blowing by him out there on the perimeter. If you can hold him in check and don't let him get going from three, because when he gets going from three, it can be an avalanche. I like Tennessee's chances. I mean, it's Nash. That's that god awful arena. I've never been to it, but you can just tell just by watching that there's
It's
no
an
need for
opera house.
there's no need for basketball to be played there. I saw an arena a little while ago. It was actually like in a school auditorium, and the stage was actually the court, and it kind of gave me Vanderbilt
Yeah, that's
vibes. But
cool, actually. I saw that one.
yeah, I
That's kind of
thought that was
sick.
actually yeah, I thought it actually kind of was too. Even though I could see a situation where a player goes for a loose ball and dives head first into row three, but I'm going to give Tennessee the win. I'm going to say they get the win on Saturday. I'm going to say they go 2-0 this week and be one step closer to a top three seed in the SEC tournament and looking to lock up a top four overall seed in the NCAA tournament. Levi, you have any thoughts on Vanderbilt?
You gotta stop the basketball. You cannot let Tyler Tanner get into the paint. That's goal number one, Dallas, is can we stop the basketball? If we can stop dribble drives, I don't think they can beat us. But if we're gonna get beat off the dribble, which I love Jacoby Gillespie to death, but at times he looks like he has no idea how to move his feet or get through a screen. And we still play some guys at times that do not communicate on screens. So to me, if Tennessee is going to win this basketball game, it has to be you have to stop Tyler Tanner from getting into the paint. If you can stop him from getting in the paint, their offense is stymied. You will put them up. Now, I will say they have no length, and we're going to start Felix Okpara and JP Estrella. I think they'll struggle to finish over that length if we can force them to finish over the length. So I've said it time and time again. Anytime that Vanderbilt sees a team that's bigger, more athletic, and has more length than them, they're going to struggle. So I do believe Vanderbilt will struggle, but it's at that opera house that I don't even believe is a basketball court. No matter how many changes they make, they have random doors just up top above your seats, and terrible place to play basketball. But I'm going to say we lose the game, but I wouldn't be surprised if this one comes down to a last second shot like it has every time for the last
Oh,
what
yeah.
feels like 3 to 4 seasons. It feels like they've hit a game winner. It's went to overtime, or we sent one of our best teams there with Grant and all them, and it went to overtime. So it was the 40-point game for Grant. But
Yeah.
I'll take Vanderbilt in a very, very close one. I think we'll have a chance at the win, and eventually one of those has to fall because we've had a couple pretty close ones this year. So if we can limit paint touches from their guards getting into the paint, and if we can just absolutely destroy the boards, I think we have a good shot.
Agree. And with that being said, we will move on to our college basketball pick'ems. Last week, we both went dead even 3-1, each of us. Current records are I am 31 and 18. Levi,
I should
you
have
are
taken
20.
Texas Tech.
Levi, you are 26 and 23. We both would have went 4-0 if we had took Texas Tech. But what are you going to do? This week, we have Michigan at Purdue. And I think this is kind of funny that Michigan this time has the big man that Purdue normally has. I mean, you have, I can't for the life of me remember his name. He's a dude that played for UCLA last year. But
A day Mara, I
a
think is
day
his name.
Mara, yeah,
Yeah, something like
yeah.
that. We whipped
This is
his
going,
butt in a tournament
yeah,
last year.
we did, we did. This is a game that I think Painter is going to be very jealous. I'm going with Michigan on the road, and that has to do a little part into my decision later on in the picks. So give me Michigan on the road. Levi, who do you have?
Uh, Debated this one. It was a coin flip. I'm going to take Purdue just because they're at home. I think they'll get right for once at home. Maybe this year. I think I'm like 0-4 on Purdue picks this year. So we'll take Purdue.
All right, moving on. We have Arizona at Houston, potential Final Four game. This one is my heart and my gut. But actually, my gut's telling me to go with Arizona, but my heart's telling me we need Houston to pull off this win for Tennessee's resume. I'm gonna go with Houston. I think I'm calling a big game for Kingston Flemings. Give me a Kingston 30 ball, and Houston sneaks it out. Levi, who do you have?
I like Houston. The more and more I've watched Arizona, the more and more I feel like they're a round of 16 team that will go 7 for 27 from three because somebody forced them to shoot threes and did not just allow them to take over the paint. So Houston will win that game, and I think they'll do it in pretty convincing fashion. Just with they play the same style of pack line defense we do, they're going to force you to take those somewhat contested threes off the dribble at times. So I really actually love Houston in that game. I got a pretty nice bet on Houston to win that one outright. So,
Oh, big money. And
uh, but
I
maybe a little bit of the bankroll. It's not big money; it's bankroll money.
but yeah, I agree that I think Houston will probably be a team that goes out and I mean not Houston, Arizona will probably be a team that goes out around the Sweet 16. I could definitely see a game that Toby Awaka's fouls out with like 16 minutes left in the second half. But moving on, we have another neutral site game. I, I'll say it again. Why are we making these games neutral site? Michigan and Duke. This is a game that I'm really looking forward to. I mean, I think you have two potential Final Four matchups here, except for Tennessee's not in one of them, so it's not going to be a Final Four matchup. But I, I'm going with Duke here just because I think Cameron Boozer is going to get that whistle as he always does. He's going to have Mara in foul trouble. He's going to have they're going to have Cadeau in absolute point guard hell. Give me the Blue Devils here, Levi. Who do you have?
It's being played where?
It's a neutral site. I think it's Washington D.C. for some reason,
Oh yeah, it
but
is. It is in DC. It's at where the Wizards play.
ah,
Weird spot, but
yeah,
yeah, this is another one of those coin flip games. Just for standing sake, I'm just gonna go with Duke on this one. I wanted to go Michigan, but you're in the nation's capital. Trump will probably show up. He's a big Duke guy, so
I don't know if you noticed that, but I just about threw my ink pen halfway across the room.
I saw something go. I saw some type of movement kind of happen. I was like, I don't know what happened there, but I'm just gonna let
Yeah,
him do his thing.
it was about a disaster. But
I just
anyway,
let you do your thing over there, man.
anyway, moving on to our hardly known Hoopers. This week, I'm going to our old friend Quanzo Martin's Missouri State team with Keith Bilek III. He's averaging around 18 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. He's an elite passer at 6'10, shooting 60% at the rim, a nice catch and shoot threat as well. He's kind of funny to watch because every now and then he'll have that just jaw dropping pass, and then he'll try another one a few moments later that looks like it's going to about the bleachers. It's it's a very odd player to watch. He's fun to watch, but he's also just it's not a fun watch from the perspective of is this good fundamental basketball because a lot of his passes are not fundamental. I mean, they'll be the one handed halfway across the court pass that Rick Barnes would have a coronary on the side of the court if one of his players attempted. But give me Keith Palek the third, Levi, who is your hardly known Hooper of the week.
I got Joel Foxwell from Portland. I don't know if you've watched him at all. He's a
Yes.
when I say he's a volume shooter, he is a volume shooter. He's gonna put it up 20 times a game, but he's also gonna give you 7 assists a game. So the ball is gonna be in his hands at all times. And I mean he's averaging 15, 4.5, and 7 this year. Just a freshman. He's from Melbourne, which we all know where Melbourne is, I'm sure, if our listeners are listening. Um,
Kangaroo.
but he's a stud, man. He's really good. I watched him the other night against Gonzaga, and I was like, who the heck is this kid? I had to look him up. I'm not surprised. Um, this continues my thoughts that foreign players are more developed than our players are because our players are going playing AAU ball most of the year, and their players are getting actual training and playing real basketball most of the year. So something has to change. Which I mean, the Stripes I think won the uh, all-star stuff or whatever. But I
Yeah,
mean, the landscape of basketball, Dallas, is slowly eroding from the United States being the peak of basketball. We allow our kids to just play AAU ball 90% of the time, where if you lose a game, who cares? You play again at 4 o'clock. So it doesn't matter if you lose, right? And I was never that type of person. My dad never ran his AAU organization that way. I never played for anybody that never cared about winning. But we have a serious problem, and I think we need to really look into AAU. And like you see guys like what's the kid Stokes, Tyron Stokes, that's the
yeah, yeah.
number one player. You see him transfer into a school. He's playing against kids like me. I would hope you'd average or have 60 on senior night on 37 shots, and we have serious, serious problems with the foundation of basketball in our states. And every time we get on Hardly Known Hoopers, it seems more and more we're picking guys that had no development whatsoever in the states. So that's just my soapbox, but it's pretty ridiculous that we continue to let the foundation erode from what the sport we created has become.
Agree 100%. And with that being said, on to our newest segment, which I have finally gave a title to. This is going to be the absolute generic title you will ever hear. I got it. I got to give thanks to Cody Rhodes, WWE superstar, for kind of giving me the idea because every time he cuts a promo, he opens up with, "So, what do you want to talk about?" So, this is what you want to talk about. We're starting off with, are you aware, Levi, of what Tubi is currently doing?
No
the
idea.
stream the streaming platform. Well, of
No.
course, we grew up in what I consider to be the golden era of cartoons, and Tubi is bringing an absolute load of the best cartoons I believe ever to their streaming services starting March the 1st. I'm just going to run through the cartoons that I think are the cream of the crop here. We're starting off here. Animaniacs, they're adding that. Then you have Baby Looney Tunes, Batman, The Brave and the Bold, Adventures of Batman, Captain Planet, Codename Kid Next Door, Courage the Calorie Dog, Cal and Chicken, Dexter's Laboratory, The Dukes of Hazzard animated series, Ed, Ed and Eddie, The Flintstones, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Justice League, Crypto the Super Dog, Mucha Lucha, New Scooby Doo Mysteries, Pinky and the Brain, Pup Named Scooby Doo, Scrappy and Scooby Doo, Super Friends, Teen Titans, The Batman, The
Isn't it free?
Frankenstones. Yeah, it's free. Tubi is, which after all this stuff they're adding, it's probably about $14.99 a month.
I was about to
But
say, there's no way they're adding this just to let people watch for free.
Tom and Jerry, Zyron Showdown, which is one of the most underrated cartoons, and there's a few more that I'm missing here, but it's just
They have Samurai
absolute.
Jack.
Yes, they did have Samurai Jack on here.
Go
I'm I'm absolutely pumped. I'm gonna be watching a lot of cartoons starting February the 1st. Do you have
for
anything to bring?
14.99.
Yeah, probably March
Do
the
you have
1st, not
Netflix?
February. Yeah,
Have you watched Love, Death, Robots before?
no. What is that?
You need to, it's an anthology. Every episode's different, but it's like cartoon style. And like, dude, the first season, the second season are flat out phenomenal. Some great episodes on there. Some of them, they're fine, but you'll find a couple that are like really, really good. There's a few that just from time to time I just want to throw on the TV. So you should definitely check out Love, Death, Robots. It's like I said, it's an anthology. So
All right, and now moving on.
she's talking about, so there's one episode where the yogurt takes over the world
Oh, that sounds like
because
right
it's a
down my
living
alley.
like technically yogurt is a living being. And then there's another episode where these people open their freezer up. They buy this house and they open up a freezer, and inside the freezer is just a mini world, and they just watch the world like as it like builds and creates and like flourishes, and then they bomb everything, and then they like shut it. They're like, oh my God. And then they
I
open
can
it back up, and then
I
it's
can
like a world starting over again.
I can see this being a big stoner show. Am I correct there?
There probably is some types of drugs
I,
involved in most
I
episodes.
I would definitely agree. And now, the next topic I have, I mentioned it at the top of the show, I do believe. Michael Jordan. Did you see the clip from yesterday after the Daytona 500 of him absolutely molesting a little white boy?
Hey, when he, can I say that?
When you said, can you say what? Just
His
say it
his
now.
fuck them
His ass.
kids. When he said that, he meant it literally.
I'm keeping that in. Yeah, yeah. I mean, one of my favorite. You happen to go into the replies of
Uh,
the video. Someone said, y'all never had uncles, and there was a guy that said I had nine uncles, and only one of them molested me like this. And it just wild. Caught on 4K. I mean, what are you going to do? I guess. I mean, hopefully there's some explanation, and he's just not out here filling up little random white kids. But I
I
had to
think it was
talk
his
about it.
driver. It was like his team
Yeah, they're saying it
driver's
was
child, right?
Tyler Reddick's son is what they're saying.
Yeah.
I know
That's still crazy though.
someone said maybe he had some ice in his shirt because you can see his shirt is soaking wet. Maybe he had some ice in his shirt and he's trying to knock it out, but just did not look good for MJ. I guess that's a good thing that Kevin Durant's the GOAT. But moving on to the next topic, kind of on on topic, but off topic as well. Joey Aguilar, his court case, it was a waste of time, a tremendous waste of time, but it was also some of the most fun I've ever had watching actual court because his lawyer was,
Hey, if
ah,
you listen to, you know who Brian Rice is, right? Calls the Lady
yeah,
Vols
yeah,
games.
yeah,
He was a lawyer for a while, and he straight up said that that's exactly like that. That Joey Aguilar's like lawyer attorney handled it perfectly. He said he nailed every step of the way because he did not allow it to turn to, well, if he's doing this for money, if he's doing this for money. So he kept it on a completely different path of what's he doing this for? And that's why Brian Rice was saying, I personally, and this is me quoting Brian Rice, I personally believe that this is a better outlook than it was when we came into it. And I'm going to trust the guy that's been in court before.
yeah.
But I will agree with you. If you watch it at times, it seemed like you or I could have probably done better representation.
He had some good moments. He made some very good points, but also the NCAA I thought made some very good points, especially the attorney that was from Tennessee, graduated from
Yes.
Tennessee. He's apparently a season ticket holder. He said, Joey Aguilar was a great story, but it's time to move on to the next story, and that the University of Tennessee is better than fighting for a sixth year quarterback. I thought he made some great points, but and while I do agree that Aguilar's attorney made some great points, there was also some moments, like you said, where there was one point where the attorney was looking at his phone. The judge is talking to him, and Joey has to nudge him like, "Hey, he's talking to you, bro." And
Yeah.
it was hilarious. And then there was another line that I'm definitely taking and using as my own was Joey's attorney saying, "Look, I don't agree with what you just said, but I also don't understand what you just said." And I'm definitely taking that for my own personally right now. I'm going to say Joey Aguilar gets the extra year. I don't think it's necessary for the betterment of Tennessee. I think it's kind of a joke that we're even sitting here talking about this as far as college athletics.
Dallas hates Joe Aguilar, by the way, guys. He also hates
Uh,
Dolly Parton too.
that's
So
factually
he's
incorrect.
a Dolly hater, he's a Joey hater, he's a Josh Heupel hater. He doesn't like anything but Rick Barnes and anybody that puts on the Tennessee basketball uniform. I'm just throwing that out there.
I mean, I just don't think that this is a good look for the university,
Faith said she can't
especially.
believe you hate Dolly.
I do not hate Dolly Parton. I just don't think this is a good look for the university. I don't think it's a good look for the football program that we are on year 7, year 6 of Josh Heupel, and we are having to fight the NCAA for what people perceive to be the best chance at making the playoff. I'm of the opinion that the floor of Joey Aguilar is basically just above the floor of George McIntyre or Faison Brandon. I think the ceiling with George McIntyre or Faison Brandon is much higher than the ceiling is with Joey Aguilar. I mean, this is his seventh, eighth year playing football at a somewhat high level, including high school. I just think there's some things that just he's not going to be able to fix at this point in his career. I may be wrong. If Joey gets that fifth year and he's absolutely balling and leads the Vols to the playoff, I'll be the first to get on here and say I was wrong. You have anything on that, Levi?
No, I don't have anything to say, Dallas. I'm
All
not
right.
going to get into it with you. I'll do it through text, not over this podcast.
And now moving on to my absolute final topic here, and this is one that I told you before. It's going to be an all-time rant. I have kind of calmed down a little bit, but I still think it's probably going. I'm probably going to get upset again talking about it. Did you see Danny White's tweet from after the softball game?
I did see he said we were in everything school again.
Yeah, that's not really. I mean, I agree. It's probably not the best time to say that right now, but the replies, people ought to be ashamed. I mean, we have the best athletic director the University of Tennessee has had in some time. I mean, whatever you want to say about Daniel White, yeah, the pricing is getting outrageous. A lot of it, though, is second market and it's supply and demand. If people's going to continue to pay these prices, then offer all means, let University of Tennessee price the ticket at whatever they want to price it at. If they can price the upper nosebleed at $500, and some dude off the street, not off the street, but some dude is going to buy the ticket, let them do that. I mean, that's just simple economics, supply and demand. But the people that are on there saying, well, not everything's cool, Danny, and you shouldn't be talking like this when we just lost to Vanderbilt in the football game. Listen, Cletus, there's more sport to the University of Tennessee than football. Look, I know
Cletus
they
from
are
Cleveland.
Cletus from Cleveland. I do know they are the main economic driver. And but I mean, there's more important things for the University of Tennessee to football. Danny can't take everything from the softball team and give it to the football team. He can't take everything from the Lady Vols basketball team and
Why
give it
not?
to the football team because it's just not smart. I mean, he could, but you would
Why not?
absolutely kill
That's all we
kill
care
Pat.
about. Jerry from Jellicoe is about to call in right now. Hold on. Dallas, let me tell you something, brother. When I was growing
And
up, the only thing we gave a dang about was the football team, and that's all we do give a dang about. I don't care if Pat Summitt won me 8 national titles. I never watched one of them. You know why? I was out in the yard shooting fireworks.
it's just these people, they absolutely drive me up a wall. There's so many words I want to use, but I'm trying to be nice. The main
I'd have
one
taken
that I'm
everything from that baseball program. I wouldn't have gave a crap. I wouldn't even let them build their stadium.
that Danny White's the reason Tony Vitello left. Who gives a damn if Tony Vitello left? You got your national championship. It was fun. Who gives an absolute shit? I don't care. Josh Elander's your head coach. You got what you wanted. They beat Nichols. Whoop de doo.
I honestly
Um,
believe that they may have lucked into that, by the way, with Elander.
yeah,
I think that, to be honest, now this may sound crazy, and I wasn't a Vitello hater, but I'm going to say I do believe that Elander played about a 75% part in that team being what it was throughout the years, with the way he recruits, with the way that he, trains his guys, the way that he keeps like everybody kind of in shape. Like Vitello was just kind of the mouth, but I think that behind the scenes, you probably got a lot of Elander being the guy, to be honest.
I do agree. I do agree. I think Elander can be a very good coach, but at the same time, it was the people. It's the people that it's 10 years ago. Baseball was down here on the totem pole,
Nobody
and
cared.
football, nobody cared. And now all of a sudden, it's popular to like it, and we're all of a sudden the biggest baseball fans in the country. And just, bro, personally, I much
Dallas,
prefer to, yeah.
I have one thought about this, and it's because unathletic people played baseball growing up and they got to continue their little slow pitch softball careers and all that type of stuff because that's the sport that, no offense to people, don't take me wrong here, but the unathletic people, that's the sport they play. When I played baseball, man, I would go out there and they'd be like, "Man, you're a freak." And I'd be like, "What?" Like, "You can move your feet so well." Like, "Well, yeah, I play football and basketball." And then there'd be guys that'd be like, "Well, he can hit well, but like he can't run 13 feet." It's
It's
the most unathletic
yeah.
sport in the world.
I've said it all along. I mean, you could take a major league baseball player,
Wrong.
put him in the NBA, and he's going to be a scrub. He's probably not. He can't. I mean, I've never seen
Nothing.
a college baseball player, a big time baseball player, or just a baseball player be able to shoot. I've never seen it. If there's one out there, please prove me wrong.
It was Coke.
You can take, like you said, baseball is probably the most unathletic sport. I mean, it doesn't take anything. I saw them. You see baseball teams out on practice, they'd be running back and forth like they're preparing for the freaking 5K mile run. And it's like, I watch baseball. I haven't seen people run that much. You run for what? A spurt of 15, 20 seconds.
Then you
I
stand
mean, yeah. Then you
for
stand, you
25 minutes.
look around, have some dude out in the outfield scratching his nuts. I
Here,
mean,
here's my favorite one, Dallas, is the people that say the hardest thing to do is hit a 100 mile per hour fastball with some curve. All right. There's four pitchers in the history of your sport that can throw 100 miles an hour with a curve and actually dot it. Like you're acting it's harder to dunk a basketball. It's harder
yeah.
to get 5 feet into the air because people think, oh, it's only 10 feet. So, I mean, I only have to jump 3 feet. No. And then I got my arms. My arms are 2.5 feet long. So I only have to jump a foot and a half. Like, go try it. You got to be able to palm the ball. And then if you can't palm the ball, you have to, the ball's down to here.
And
So
I mean,
I don't get into it with them.
I didn't mean to make this an anti-baseball rant. It's
I
supposed to
did.
be.
I did.
It was supposed to be more of a anti-people on the internet who tweet at Danny White rant. Um, I love softball. I mean, I can watch it all day long. Softball team has been very. Don't give me
I
that
love it.
smirk.
No, no,
Yeah,
no,
I
no,
actually.
no, 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 no. No, Faith sent me something on Instagram. But I do love watching softball team, man.
Yeah,
Carlin Pickens is super, and softball moves faster. The bases are shorter,
yeah,
and you get more movement, in my opinion. And like stealing bases is more common because the bases are so much shorter, the field's shorter. Like no offense to the women, they can't make the real long throws. So just a chopper turns into a kind of an athletic statement, you know, like can you
yeah,
field that, get up and get that over there? And don't get me wrong, there's some baseball guys that are absolute incredible fielders,
yeah,
like incredible athletes. But at the end of the day, like the whole talk about like in our most people just being baseball fans is all because of Tony Vitello. Brother, my dad used to take me to that stadium to watch the baseball games growing up, and you could literally donate a can of soup for a ticket.
yeah.
They shouldn't have built that stadium. They should have freaking gave more money to the football team.
They should have gave it to the football team, or hell, they should have gave it to the women's team. Because you can imagine Kim Caldwell's out here having to do this, but basically players from the I don't want to say the scrapyard or the transfer portal. There's a lot of very talented players they got from the transfer portal. Janai Barker
Well,
is
if
a
Kelly would have freaking recruited a single high
yeah,
school player, we wouldn't be in this
yeah,
position.
that's true as well. But
Brittany probably agrees with that as well. I guarantee if
yeah,
we brought Brittany on and say, "Hey, how did you think that Kelly Harper handled the structure of her roster?" She would say it's ridiculous that she recruited 4 high school players in 3 years.
yeah, I mean, look, Kim, they haven't played at their best this season, but if you watch that Texas game, that was
They're
some of the
getting there.
best. That was some that they are getting there. That was just if they had maybe $200,000 to go get someone in the portal that could, I don't know. I mean, what would you say Tennessee's biggest weakness is right now on the Lady Vols team? Would it be rim protection?
Absolutely. And they have somebody coming in that can take care of that
Yeah,
next year. So,
Olivia Edwards. But if they could have
yeah,
went and got a 1 year rental for rim protection for 200 whatever $200,000, this team would be so much better. But instead, that went to a sport that loses how much money? $20 million a year or something, whatever crazy it was on the revenue share for a new stadium that I'm just being honest, I'll probably
They haven't
never
filled it
be
out
in.
yet. They haven't sold it out.
They haven't sold
You're
it
telling me
out.
they it's supposed to hold, I think, 8,071, and the highest they've had is 6,997. I know for dang sure there weren't 6,000 because
Yeah.
I took the bus to the basketball game and we were passing the baseball game. There's about maybe 2,000 people in that stadium.
But I mean, I'm never probably going to be at inside Lindsey Nelson. I don't know if you ever will make it down there or not for the new renovations. I
We
mean,
had tickets for game three this past weekend, but we went to the basketball game instead.
good idea. I'm probably going to go to the Lady Vols softball game in Lexington this season just because, I mean, it's Carlin Pickens last year, probably one of the best pitchers all time.
Legend.
And yeah,
She's becoming Monica Abbott level of good.
she is. And the most dangerous thing for the softball team is they actually have some pitchers that are pretty damn good behind her as well. They don't have to wear
Yeah,
her
the
out this
Newton girl
season.
is
Yeah.
she's dangerous.
They don't have to wear her out like they did the past few years. And they're just absolutely dominating top teams. I mean, I have it written here, I'm writing an article right now for the softball team. Against top 25 teams, they are outscoring them 40-3.
Yeah.
They
Yeah, they
lost
have
to
six top 10 wins already.
They lost to Texas in the semifinals of the Women's College World Series last year, 2-0. They had
Yeah,
three
they'll
hits.
be fine this year. They're hitting the
Yeah,
ball. This is the first year in a long time that the bats are alive, so that helps a lot.
yeah. And just to end everything here, my main rant here is Danny White. Like I said earlier,
Don't
is
be
the
stupid.
Danny White is one of the best athletic directors in the country, if not the best athletic director. He is one of the best Tennessee's ever had, if not the best. And if these idiots that are out here tweeting him over and over, you took money from the football team to give to the women basketball team, if they are the reason we one day lose Danny White, they deserve the absolute hell this university will go through because they are once again led by incompetent leaders. You have the best of the best. Don't fuck it up. All right. That's
I already
all I
said it
have.
once, man. I already
Yeah.
said it once, so
That's
hopefully
all I
John doesn't
have.
get too mad at us.
He's told me before, just as long as we're not on here dropping slurs, we should be okay. I haven't dropped a slur. You dropped plenty in your time on the podcast. I've had to edit out, but that's that's all we will be leaving with. That's all we'll be talking about this week on the Beyond the Arc podcast. I apologize if I offended anybody. Um, we will see you next week on the Beyond the Arc podcast from Dallas and Levi. Go Vols.
All right, I gotta go for a walk.